Hello, this is B.V. Ramana, teacher in English. In this video, I would like to share with you the topic indirect speech and pronoun changes with respect to I, me, my, mine, myself, etc. Well, indirect speech pronoun changes with respect to I, me, my, mine, myself. The most difficult part for the children is changing of pronouns. So when we ask the children to change the pronouns with respect to this I and its related words, we can make them the task easy. We can make them do the task easily by following these two steps. What are the two steps? First one is look at step. That means whenever they find I, me, my, mine, myself, they may be asked to look at the subject of the reporting verb. This is the first step. And then they may be asked to select the column consent. That means there are five columns of the pronouns. They are first column constitutes I, we, you, they, he, she, it. Second column me, us, you, them, him, her, it. Third column my, our, your, their, his, her, its. And fourth column mine, ours, yours, theirs, his, hers, its. And fifth column myself, ourselves, yourself, or yourselves, themselves, himself, herself, itself. So they must be familiarized with the different types of columns. So these are the simple two steps. And next, they may be given these rules. What are these rules? First, we have to identify, encircle the pronoun consent. And next one, look at the subject of the reporting verb with an arrow mark. And third one, write the column of the pronouns to which the encircled pronoun belongs. And fourth one, select the pronoun from the column which resembles the subject of the reporting verb. Let us see how all these rules can be applied in an example. Well, example, he says, inverted commas, I am in the house. Then how can we change? And example and rule number one, encircle the pronoun consent. Here the pronoun consent is I. So we have to encircle it. And then we have to look at the subject of the reporting verb with an arrow mark. So we have to draw an arrow mark to the subject of the reporting verb, that is he. And next one, write the column of the pronouns to which the encircled pronoun belongs to. You might have seen this I belongs to this column number 1 because I is here. So this column is to be written here. This is the third step. And fourth step, we have to select out of these pronouns in this column which resembles the subject of the reporting verb. Here the subject of the reporting verb is he. We have to find whether he is there in this column. He is here. We have to put tick mark. That means he is to be selected. So we get the answer in the you will get I changed into he in the answer. And to be in agreement with he, am is to be changed into is. But here this is not the verb change. On the same tense is there. But whenever we have identified he as the changed pronoun, and with respect to this changed pronoun, is agrees. So we have to write is here. And we get the answer. He says that. Inverted comma removed and that written, and says becomes says only. And by doing these changes we get he says that he is in the house. In this way we can give the instructions for the children for the two important changes, that is look at change at the subject of the reporting verb and select the appropriate column and from which we have to identify the changed pronoun. And next example, she says to him, inverted comma begin, I shall come with my books. Here, the first rule is that encircle the pronoun consent. Here, I is encircled and my is encircled. And then look at the subject of the reporting verb with an arrow mark. Here, whenever we have I, me, my, mine, we have to look at the subject with with the help of an arrow mark. So I is removed and we have looked at the subject with an arrow mark, and my is removed and we have looked at the subject with an arrow mark. And third one, write the column of the pronouns to which the encircled pronoun belongs. Here, I, the encircled pronoun I belongs to column number 1. So this column is to be written here. So we have written I, we, you, they, he, she, it here. And next one, my is encircled and it showed to the subject. It looked at the subject with an arrow mark. And then this my encircled pronoun my belongs to this third column, that is my, our, your, their, his, her, its, and this column is to be written here. And then fourth rule, select the column from the column which resembles the subject of the reporting verb. Here subject is she. In this column she is there, just we have to put tick mark. And here my is there. My looked at this subject, but this she is not here. But some pronoun is here, resembles this subject she. So she here resembles her in some way. So her is put tick mark. And next one, as pronoun is changed with the pronoun shall may not agree. So here will agree. So instead of writing shall, we have written here will here. Here will is not the past form of the shall. Only for the agreement with the subject we have changed shall into will. And by these changes we can get the answer. She says to becomes tells, she tells him, inverted comma becomes that. So she tells him that she will come with her books will be the answer. And next example, he says to her, I am taking rest in my house. Here, first we have to encircle the pronoun consent. I is encircled and my is encircled. And I, my, look at the subject. So we have drawn arrow marks to the subject. From my, we have drawn an arrow mark to the subject. Then we have to write the columns of the pronouns to which the encircled pronouns belong to. Here I belongs to this first column. So first column is written here. And my belongs to this third column. So this third column is written here. And then we have to select the pronoun from the columns which resemble the subject of the reporting verb. Here I looks at the he, and he here resembles he in this column. So he is selected. And my looks at the he, but he is not found here. But for some pronoun relating to this he is here, that is his. His can be selected here. And for agreement with he, and am is changed into is. And says to becomes tells, inverted comma becomes that. By these changes we can get the answer. He says, he tells her that he is taking rest in his house. In this way the pronouns are to be changed. And next example, he says to them, inverted commas, the book is mine. Here the required pronoun to be changed is that mine. So my, whenever we have I, me, my, mine, myself, we have to look at the subject of the reporting verb. So mine is encircled as a first step, and we have looked at the subject with an arrow mark. So mine shows the she. And then as a third step, we have to write the column of the pronouns to which this encircled pronoun belongs to. Here, mine belongs to this fourth column. So this fourth column is written here. Fourth column is mine, ours, yours, theirs, his, hers, its. So here, same column is written here. So now the fourth step is that we have to select out of these columns the pronoun which resembles the subject of the reporting verb to which we have drawn the arrow mark. So she is not found here, but one of the pronouns in this column resembles this she and relates to this she. Here, hers is the pronoun. So hers is chosen. And says to becomes tells, inverted comma becomes that. And we get the answer. She says them that the book is hers will be the right answer. In this way, pronoun is to be changed. And last example. He says to her, I myself do my work. This is the question and how to change the pronouns here. The pronoun when the pronouns are related to the I family. That means I, me, my, mine, myself. How to change? The first rule is that we have to encircle the pronouns. Here I is encircled, myself is encircled, my is encircled because these are the pronouns which are to be changed. Whenever we have I, me, my, myself like that, we have to look at the subject of the reporting verb. So those encircled subjects looked at the subject with the help of an arrow mark. So from I, we have drawn an arrow mark to the subject he, and myself is encircled, an arrow mark is drawn to the subject he, and my is encircled, and from my we have drawn an arrow mark to the subject he. Because whenever we have the pronouns I, myself, my, and mine, we have to look at the subject. This is the second rule. And third one, we have to write the columns of the pronouns to which these encircled pronouns belong. Here I belongs to this first column. So this first column is written here. And myself belongs to this fifth column. So this fifth column is written here. And my belongs to this third column. So this third column is written here. And after writing that, we have to select the pronouns from the column which resembles the subject of the reporting verb. And let us see. He in this column is there. The same he is here. So he is put tick mark. And in this column, he is not reflected. But one pronoun is there which is related to the he. That related pronoun is here himself. So himself is chosen. And in this column, this shown he is not found. So, but one of the pronoun out of this column related to the subject he. Here his is related to he. So he is put tick mark. And after selecting of this one, we can change the encircled pronouns. And here says to becomes tells, and inverted comma becomes that. And we get the answer. He tells her that. He himself does. Here do becomes does. Because here it agrees with the he. He himself does his work. In this way, we can change the pronouns. So whenever, as a final word, whenever we have I, me, my, mine, myself, we have to look at the subject of the reporting verb and we have to select the appropriate and relevant pronoun from the columns. This is called select column step. And this for this selection of the pronouns from this column. We have to follow these steps. Well, friends, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel by tapping subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.